Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have pen and paper because I'm going to explain to you something that you weren't aware of.
Welcome back to another episode
of Tinfoil Radio.
Yes, from a bunker somewhere, someplace underground.
Thank God.
Because of social distancing,
plenty of toilet paper.
We're doing something a little different this week. We're going to be recording in a different way. The show itself should be back to normal on next week's episode.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
I think we should be fine by then. But who knows? We're trying to play it safe as much as we don't want to talk about this. We have to.
We got to acknowledge it.
This coronavirus stuff is affecting everybody.
It's scary.
And, you know, I love having this show to kind of break the monotony of that. Like, normally this isn't a huge change to my life.
We've been playing a lot of board games at my house.
I've been playing a
with
lot of
the
video
kids.
games. I've been playing Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Every day I try to get out and walk around the apartment complex, like around outside.
Dog, like, this is where we need to be mentally. We just need to work through it. We're going to be fine.
I've watched all 4 seasons of Monty Python and all the movies.
I'm going to start watching Tiger King. Have you watched that yet? Everybody's talking about it. Joe Exotic? You don't want to know about it?
No. No.
It's 7 hours. I can burn through that in one weekend. I probably do that this Saturday.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, we really don't do anything much.
No,
these days.
We're lazy guys, but we know how scary
times
are.
Silver lining, before we go on, we just wanted to acknowledge it. But silver lining, folks, if we do all die, billions of years from now, when the next race of super intelligent beings on
probably
this planet,
the
lizard people,
the reptilians,
who are already among us. See,
right, though.
See episode 4. Did you see how I plugged that?
Yeah.
And
Denver International Airport.
Yeah, and then they'll find us. They'll find our recording, a digital record. They won't be able to play it because what kind of technology is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like wires and stuff.
Yeah.
We're reptilians. We use eggs and fucking skin.
We are a hive mind to our android goddess.
Biotechnology, motherfucker. Okay.
Save that for our next made-up conspiracy.
Oh,
episode.
man. Already there. Already half written in my head. So let's go into episode 10. And let's talk about the Alex Jones Saga Part 3. Now, Jake, if you before we get into intro and all that stuff, if you want to give us a bit of background from what you perceived.
All right. Also, episode 10, we're going to mix some things up.
Oh.
So I will expound on what Tyler has, but he has the rundown.
Mm.
He's going to be steering the ship. He's going to be driving.
Kind of.
And I'm
just reading instead of I'm reading instead of Jake.
Yeah. Because I can't read aloud.
It's okay.
I'm terrible at it.
I don't know why, but I'm really good at it. If I see something written down, I'm kind of like, what's his name? God.
Anyway,
seriously?
Let's get back to Alex.
Ron Burgundy. Yeah. Anyway, so intro. Okay, so
background to this stuff. You asked for the background.
So, yeah, go for it.
I just want to be quick about it. This is the reason why we decided to do one whole episode on Sandy Hook. Ultimately, what it came down to, there's too much information in Sandy Hook to have it share an episode with the final part of his story.
And this is truly the demonization of this is truly when you find out what a piece of garbage he really,
is the beginning
really
of the
is.
End. Yeah, this is it. Because
didn't you say he shaved his head?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next episode. But yeah, I wanted to do 3. This is going to have to be 4 just because of everything
What's he up to now? And what's in the future? Okay.
I'll be honest, it's not going to be as fun as the last 2 episodes.
This one, no.
It's going to get a lot darker.
This is a horrible subject. The fact that we've been dealing with it since
2012.
No, before that, man. Columbine.
Yeah,
that happened right before I moved to Denver.
We'll get into that a
Yeah.
little bit here. So.
Interesting note. Okay, real quick. Columbine is a school, and it was in Lakewood, Colorado. I thought Columbine was a place, and that
Like
was the name of the
Columbine,
school
Colorado?
too. Yeah, but it wasn't. That when I actually moved there, I lived down the street from the. Anyway, so intro. Okay, so last episode we covered some of Alex's biggest and dumbest theories. This week, obviously, we're doing a deep dive, and it is going to get a little dark, like we talked about. So first thing let's talk about is the green screen. Alex's coverage of Sandy Hook is nothing short of disgusting. Initially, after the tragedy happened, Alex immediately started questioning it. He stated that it had inside job written all over it. He started by claiming that CNN's Anderson Cooper was in front of a green screen. Play clip. Oh, wait.
So before we do play that clip, I want to kind of expound on this because that's a fun word to say. What I have of this clip is about a minute. And it really just kind of, I don't know. You could tell Alex is doing this on the fly. And I really think by the end of it, he understood how stupid it all was and how deep in the shit that he got himself into.
But guys like this double down. They don't know how to say oops.
Right, exactly.
They literally don't know that four-letter word.
This clip is very dumb, and I really want you to hear this. So take it away, Alex.
Folks, we've got video of Anderson Cooper with clear blue screen out there. He's not there in the town square. We've got people clearly coming up and laughing and then doing the fake crying. We've clearly got people where it's actors playing different parts of different people. The building bulldoze, covering up everything. Adam Lanza trying to get guns 5 times, we're told. The witnesses, not saying it was him. People out in the woods. But we've got the investigator here, Wolfgang W. Albig. I'm going to give you the floor, sir. Go over your 16 points, the problems, the issues, and break down what you believe is a total hoax. I've looked at it, and undoubtedly there's a cover-up, there's actors, they're manipulating, they've been caught lying, and they were pre-planning before it and rolled out with it. So clearly I agree with you that something's rotten under the floorboards, but is it a possum or is it a human? Well, regardless, they're not letting a good crisis go to waste. But you're the expert. Break it down for us.
Yeah, that was just one of the many segments he's had. You asked, we were watching it, and you were looking at me like who that guy was, like the expert. I can't even tell you his name.
It doesn't matter.
Because I checked out mentally so fast when he started talking about this. And it blows my mind that people can look at that clip and still believe this guy and not believe that he's just
fake crying. That was my favorite.
Making this all up.
So he started to build on this story to help perpetrate a narrative that this was being staged, because he said it looked like stock. You heard the clip. This is what Alex does with every mass shooting. It was staged so the government can come take your guns. Hey, can we say something real quick?
Yeah.
Do you know how many like federal agents and like ATF agents would die if they went to like 5 houses and tried to take guns away?
Oh yeah, we have more.
It's a fucking fortified house with fucking guns in it.
We have more guns than people.
Yeah.
And so we're never.
We would run out of agents before we took all your guns.
Right.
If that helps.
We would never. Yeah.
Jesus.
America's never gonna take your guns. It's never gonna happen.
How?
And
Exactly.
they shouldn't.
No.
I have no problems with the
I am
Second
totally
Amendment.
okay with responsible gun ownership.
Exactly. And so I don't buy any of this stuff that people, and most Americans are that same that we just said. I'm not someone who immediately jumps to defending the Second Amendment, but I do believe it's important to have, and I respect having it. I'm glad that I have that right.
If you want to have a gun and not be registered, if you think that's your big bugaboo, because you're like, oh, I'm on a government list or something. Well, you know what? What are you going to do with that gun that you don't want the government to know that you have that gun? Then you don't need a gun.
Exactly.
Period.
And most gun owners,
shut up.
Every gun owner that I know is exactly that. Every gun owner that I know is very responsible.
Yeah.
And they're not.
They get training like what? Once a year, once every 2 years, something like that?
Yeah.
They know how to clean their gun. Because
gun safes.
You know how much.
Very
Yeah.
smart.
Gun.
We're getting too much in the weeds on that.
Yeah.
So that applies to this in a way because this is one of his false flags.
Yes.
And you were asking before we recorded, you don't know what it means.
I've heard it, and I want to be like one of those SJWs who's like, yeah, fucking false flag. But I really don't. And I'm not an SJW.
Well, a false flag is kind of what we were just talking about. How we went off on talking about the Second Amendment. That's what a false flag is. He's saying that the government engineers tragedies to get you to take your guns away, to justify harsher gun laws and to strip you of your guns. None of that would happen in this country. It's not going to happen. There's no way. And you know why? Because the majority of gun owners are responsible. They're not lunatics like Alex Jones.
They might get through like a building in New York City before they ran out of agents. Might. We got all the guns out of that. Do we have any agents left? Shit. No, but so a false flag, in other words,
is a government cover up to take away your guns. That's what his thing of
right,
false flag.
But I mean like a false flag in general. Like the definition would be like something you can kind of blanket over what you're really trying to talk about to get people to listen to the nonsense that you're talking about.
It's being a con
like
man.
Pizzagate is a false flag.
Yeah, he's being a con man. That's all it is. If I were to give it, the base definition of it would be that you are intentionally conning your audience to push some sort of agenda.
Nonsense.
Something that
under
would never
a false flag
happen.
of pretense.
Yeah. You know how many years?
Look at that.
You know how many years
I didn't
Alex
even go to college.
has said tragedies like this happen, and then the false flag of it, and they're going to try and take your guns, and then it's going to be a bloodbath, martial law, police state.
Yeah, maybe.
Any sort of thoughts that would happen now with the coronavirus, where people are pushing these conspiracy theories that we're going to become a police state, and we're going to be forced in our homes and not have all of our rights taken away? It's the same kind of level. It's just not going to happen. That's never going to happen. Not to this country.
You would have to have almost an entire, like in our area, you'd almost have to have like an entire police force for one neighborhood, like 24/7, to make sure nobody came out of their houses. That leaves all these other neighborhoods open. And when are these guys going to sleep? You get what I'm saying, folks?
Yeah, it just doesn't
it's
make
not
sense.
really possible. And I heard National
Alex
Guard.
has been saying stuff like that.
They're all
for
overseas.
years.
Yeah.
And Sandy Hook has been the jumping off point.
And he's a fucking douche.
Maybe not just Sandy Hook, but other ones.
But right,
too.
but he
every shooting pretty much.
So in the false flag, he changed the narrative a bit, and he claimed that people did in fact die, but it was a false flag, as we've been talking about. And then in September 2014, he started running with the idea of the whole entire thing being completely fabricated. No one died at Sandy Hook. He is basing this on the Uniform Crime Reports, or the UCR. The reports state that there were no murders in Newton in 2012. This would give way to his theory that the children murdered were, get ready for this, crisis actors. This is a false representation of the FBI report. Alex did what he does best, saw something that could push his nonsense, I love that word, and scare people without actual context. If Alex took more than 5 minutes looking at the report, he would see the truth. The reality of those numbers is simple. The Connecticut State Police was the lead investigator after the attack. The Sandy Hook victims were included in Connecticut's statewide records under State Police Miscellaneous, rather than under the Newtown statistics. So that is why those numbers wouldn't show up in the UCR. That literally took me 5 minutes of research, you fucking clod, Alex. I added that last part.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's so frustrating about this, because Alex knew he was the guy.
He's fully aware of what he's doing.
Yeah, he
and
knows
what
he's
saying.
clickbait. All of his stuff has always been clickbait. It's always to get him attention.
Yeah,
it's
but look at all
always
the
a
money
stunt.
he's made. I mean,
So all he has to do, and I've said this every episode, all he does is read a headline. And he was kind of the first person to like lead that movement into the internet, I think. He wasn't the only one, but he's the one I always noticed that would always just look at a headline and completely take things out of context. It took 5 minutes. I'm not exaggerating that. It was literally clicking on one thing, looking at it, being like, oh, there, I figured that out. But he knows that people are all about clickbait and short attention spans, and that's how he gets audiences.
yeah.
This is why this whole Sandy Hook thing is unbelievable, because of the harsh, stupid shit he did to hurt these families. And we're going to get more into this. And just, he didn't learn anything from this. He didn't. He's still doing stupid shit now.
Your young child was just murdered senselessly. And you're really trying to get through this. And then all of a sudden some
You're lying.
fucking
You're not
morons,
dead. Nobody died there.
a bunch of them, start coming to your house, start sending you emails, start calling you. Because fucking
Calling you an
Alex
actor.
is doxing them. They had to move a bunch of times. Isn't there a guy who had to move a bunch of times?
Yeah,
And
it's bad. So let's get
horrifying.
Let's
Yeah.
get more into this.
So the defamation suits, because we're getting close to that shit. As the years went on, Alex continued to try and cook up different ways to prove the event was fake all along. Much like Pizzagate, this proved to be very damaging. This is really where Alex stops being funny. The people that actually believe him are fucking crazy and were hellbent on making people's lives hell. We'll get to that, like I was talking about. But first, let's go through a timeline that led to where we are today. I want to give a huge shout out to firstamendment.org for this list. So let's jump into it. Yeah. Taste the excitement.
All right.
Examples.
July 24th, 2018.
Oh, Watergate. Wow.
Yeah, here we go. Esquire publishes an article written by Charles P. Pierce that talks about the change on talk radio and podcasts that this case could have on the industry. He provides some context into the trials with transcripts from Alex's lawyers. And I specifically wanted to take lead on this and read this because this whole sequence is great.
He just hates my voice.
Well, just for starters, and by the way, he did get rid of these guys eventually later on in the case. But he has lawyers Mark Randazza and Jay Woolman of Randazza Legal Group in Vegas. They were made popular by their defense of the neo-Nazi co-founder of the Daily Stormer website, which is awful.
Can we just all agree? Yeah. Nazis are bad.
Yeah, that and Stormfront.
Doesn't apply to First Amendment. Sorry.
Have you heard of Stormfront?
Oh, yeah.
It's awful. It is horrible. And I really hate that I might have to go there for research sometimes with Nazi stuff because they actually have a lot of history on Nazis. I'm kidding. I'm never going to go there.
Gross.
Andrew Anglin was the guy who was the neo-Nazi. So Alex is in good company here, right? This part of the defense is where it gets really funny. So the lawyer says this, quote, Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein. Is it Stein or Steen?
Bernstein. Woodward and Bernstein.
There you go. I couldn't remember if it was Bernstein or Bernstein.
That's how I remember, is say their last names.
So, Woodward and Bernstein relied on allegations from Deep Throat to link the Nixon administration to the Watergate break-in.
Damn, Abe Lincoln?
That would have been better, right? I would have believed that more.
Whoa. That's crazy, Alex.
Such journalism questioning official narratives would be chilled if reporters were just subject to liability if they turned out to be wrong. End quote. So he got a lawyer that is really trying to push the fact that he is saying Alex is a real journalist.
Yeah.
And I want to really point that out at the very beginning of this whole ordeal.
Because he's not.
He's not a journalist. Even during the
short answer, he's not.
During the depositions, Alex admits he's doing opinion. Mm-hmm. So he's not a real journalist. So yeah, that's the beginning of that. So then we jump to where, Tyler?
August 1st, 2018. First of 3 suits reaches a courtroom. Alex's lawyers begin their fight against a defamation case brought on him in InfoWars from the victims of Sandy Hook, citing the Texas Citizen Participation Act, because Alex is nothing but a good Texan. His attorneys argue that he's from Texas, or he is based out of
he's in
That's
Austin.
a fact. His attorneys argue that what Alex does on his show isn't fact, it's opinion. Maybe it's fringe speech, maybe it's dangerous speech, but it is not defamation. Eat shit.
Yeah, I don't see. So before, I don't see how
dirty
someone
whores
can honestly defend what Alex was doing in this. And I know he has to have a lawyer. He has the right to.
Because they were getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when on the timeline he drops the original lawyers that helped the neo-Nazi, but we'll play a grouping of clips because oh my God, you have to hear some of these. But that's a totally different lawyer. And again, I don't know. I don't think there's enough money on the planet for me to defend Alex Jones in court. Because there's no way. There's no way to defend him. Because he constantly lies and constantly incriminates himself. He's still incriminating himself to this day.
The thing is like people that follow those kind of demigod, fucking idiots, they're just looking for somebody to tell them what is, and it's just a dangerous way to live your life, and it's unfortunate, but they don't really have to have like a reason to defend anything. They honestly, at their base point, they're just like, nah, and that's it. You're not gonna that's their
big
wall
thing.
Yeah.
Or it's a whataboutism. Like, well, he did this, but what about when Obama
What
did
about
this?
Obama?
Or when, Bush did this, and like putting blame on all presidents and all things, and then
Hey, I didn't get no blame.
Clinton, yeah.
Except for that Monica thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, we're going to keep going here.
I'm going to talk like Bill Clinton the rest of the...
No. I'm just saying, here's what happened. I ran into
Hey,
Bill.
Alex, you fucking twat.
I was going to say, we could do that whole... I ran into Bill Clinton,
Hey,
and I said, hey,
I was at a McDonald's again.
you're a rapist. Scum.
Okay.
And nobody likes you.
No. And then the Secret Service took him out back and shot him in the head. It was awesome. See, that's the...
That's a good sketch.
I'm pretty sure if somebody came up to Bill Clinton like, hey, like he would just boop boop boop, like, oh he's dead. Okay, oh shit. Because they still have Secret Service guys following him around, don't they?
I know.
I'm pretty sure for life.
They're pretty protected for a while.
I'm
Anyway,
pretty sure. Anyway, so we're on Alex 17th, 2018.
August 17th.
Alex 17th. August is accused of destroying evidence. I'm owning it. I'm doubling down like
flipping
these assholes are all the time. 2 of the Sandy Hook victims accuse Alex of deleting evidence relating to the case. According to the motion, they knew about this because Alex said on air that instructed staffers to delete social media messages and videos relating to Sandy Hook, some of which could be considered evidence. And those of you who watch a lot of procedural shows, that's illegal.
Yeah, very illegal. It's hard to find that clip. I couldn't find that clip because I know
Because it's destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. It is. I'm not kidding.
Seriously, no.
He did the same thing with Pizzagate.
There's so much.
in Chobani.
Here's the
I don't
thing.
even have that on here.
You guys don't know. I do, because bitches about it all the time. Just kidding. But I do that, if you're not aware, we haven't maybe gotten to it, but I think we've mentioned it, that he was deplatformed at some point.
Yeah, that'll be for
within the last year, I think.
He got deplatformed.
We'll get to that. I'm not saying it right now. The point is that trying to find videos of him because he's been deplatformed, which
hard.
rightly so, because fuck that guy, is really difficult. So honestly, the fact that we get any clips at all that means Jake's a goddamn hero.
So yeah, I don't have a clip on that, but I definitely remember.
Listen here, make sure you destroy all that. Come on, just do the voice.
Hey guys, we're gonna talk to.
What is my problem?
We're gonna talk to Jesse the Body here in the next hour, Ventura. But before I do that, can you go ahead and just
Buckle.
delete that stuff I had about Sandy Hook?
Already took care of it,
That
Buckle.
could really incriminate
Hey,
me.
pal, I already took care of it. I went
Oh.
to the editor and I said, listen here, Jesse the Body says to erase that stuff, Buckle.
And you know what? There's nothing illegal about that, folks.
I'm a governor, I ain't.
I'm doing the right thing.
Listen, I'm a governor. I can do what I want, Buckle.
There's your clip.
See, you know what? We're nothing if not entertainers.
Yeah, see, look, we're here for you, in these hard times. So anyway, moving on later into
I
the
love
case.
the fact that Jesse knows anything about video editing. Just
Hey,
he's in the editor's
I
room
had
like,
a
hey,
TV
listen here, guy.
Listen, jerkwad. I was working with the WWE before you could even walk.
I hooked up 2 VCRs and I ripped off Ghostbusters, Buckle.
and I sold that for $5 a pop
$5
because I'm a hustler, pal.
off a blanket in downtown Minneapolis, Buckle.
And you know what else? I was governor of Minnesota.
At the same time, I would get done at the State House,
Good Lord.
go to the blanket.
It's been like weeks since we did the body and
Oh, man, do the
I
body.
miss them.
I'm glad that we got a chance to just get it out of our systems.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If we ever come into a situation where we don't have a clip, just expect that the person that we're mocking is doing something and then
And Jesse the Body's going to...
Yeah.
Or Alex Jones. One of those two will come in and be part of the clip.
I'm not lying.
Right now it's Alex, and he can't do both at the same time, so I'm doing Jesse. But those are the two voices we do.
That's
it.
That's about it.
Okay.
I can't really do a Bill Cooper. His is harder to do.
Bill Cooper. You've told me about him.
Was
I haven't,
before
I haven't-
Alex Jones.
Yeah, I haven't researched him too much.
He's the godfather of conspiracy.
So January 11th, 2019, judge grants Sandy Hook parents discovery access. Now, 6 of the families involved in the case are granted access to InfoWars financial and marketing documents on the state. This includes contracts between InfoWars and platforms like Facebook and Twitter, and any communications, including letters, emails, and text messages related to Sandy Hook, Adam Lanza, crisis actors, or mass shootings. According to the parents' lawyers, this is a way to prove that Alex is a conspiracy profiteer. And when I say platforms like Facebook and Twitter, again, we'll get to it, but that's what I mean.
That
he's not on there anymore because
because of stuff like this. Yeah,
he was deplatformed.
But while Alex and like Infowars was, Paul Joseph Watson still has Twitter. Milo got banned from Twitter too. I think he was the first.
Milo, who was it
Milo
again?
Yiannopoulos.
Oh yeah, the gay dude is against gayness.
Yeah, which is again, it says a
It's
lot.
like Diamond and Silk.
All Alex does now.
Here's a lot of money to fucking go against your very nature.
I won't get it too much into this because we'll save it for next week.
Right.
But Alex, Sandy Hook damaged him so much that he has to go after people like Milo. He has to go after a guy named Count Dankula. That was like one of these like YouTube edgelords that ran for office in
Edgelords?
the UK. You never heard that term before? He liked to do like
man.
edgy comedy, and he got in trouble because he made his dog do a Nazi salute, which, to be honest, was kind of a funny video. Still pretty horrible, but it's still kind of funny.
Is he like the idiot who went to the
And then you
forest
got,
where all the people killed themselves?
he never got him on. I don't think he's really been on. Maybe he has. I don't know. But Sargon of Akkad, it's those kind of crowd of like anti-SJW,
If you're making
edgy political humor.
Real quick, if you're making a lot of money doing like YouTube stuff, and then suddenly you lose it for whatever reason, and you go on like Twitter and go, that's how I make my money now. I can't, afford my living. I just want to tell you, that was a lucky break that you had for a little bit, and you should have been prepared for the fact that it was going to end someday. Just
this
heads
stuff,
up.
especially with the internet, a lot of this stuff is
Just
fleeting. But
save that money.
we will get to that whole ordeal in the next episode.
Yeah.
But,
Oh yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is Sandy Hook is such an important thing that we have to do as a separate episode because it is really responsible for his absolute just dissent. And
It's a good example of his irresponsibility.
people
His
finally
blatant.
and I think a lot of people finally understood that how dangerous he can be.
I don't take responsibility for that at all. Who does that sound like?
Yeah, so I totally agree with the decision in this.
Sure.
I'm glad that they
Oh,
won
yeah, me
that
too.
because he absolutely is a conspiracy profiteer. He's literally
Morally,
profiting.
he should be put in jail.
You know how much money he probably just made and is still making because of the coronavirus?
Oh fuck.
Morally,
he should have been.
in on
Yeah.
every tragedy.
You're making the parents of a murdered child's lives harder for money.
For some clicks.
Morally,
So
you should
people
be
buy
put in
your-
the fucking slammer.
So
'Cause
people buy your fucking
that's-
water filters.
fucking awful, man. Yeah.
Exactly. So
It's too bad the law doesn't have a morality clause. Oh wait, it does. It just doesn't apply to rich people. What
happens after this for Alex?
February 7th, 2019, the hits keep coming to Alex. And this
Ooh.
is fun. It gets karma. The
This
New York
is
Times.
actually,
Oh, yep.
I do want
Go
to point
ahead.
out,
Yep.
this and portions of this are pulled directly from First
Portions
Amendment.
of the show have been pre-recorded.
From firstamendment.org. So I want to say all this is directly from their website. So
Okay, Buckle.
you don't have to quote yourself, but I just want to make sure I'm not plagiarizing them, and they know that they did a great job, Bucko.
They can trust Jesse the Body, Buckle.
So anyway,
Hey, pal. The New York Times reports that there were a series of legal victories for the victims involved with the case. In Texas, a judge ordered Jones and InfoWars representatives to submit to questioning by the lawyers of one Sandy Hook mother. And also granted access to the company's business records against the wishes of Jones' lawyers, who wanted them to remain sealed. hey, douchebag, you have a company in America. No. In
People are gonna-
Connecticut, sorry, it should be public knowledge.
It's a defamation suit. And they have to, this is part of their building their case that, hey, you're profiting off the death and tragedy of our children and this whole horrible thing that happened to this town. Nobody knew of this place before Sandy Hook. Nobody knew where is it Newton or Newtown? Newtown, Connecticut. Nobody knew about this place. And this is a horrible way to be remembered. And then to just capitalize off
Not
those
in his
people's...
mind.
No, for Alex, oh my God, if it happened in Austin, you know
What?
you know how much money that idiot would make because people are so stupid to be he's on to something.
Listen,
Anyway,
he's just saying what nobody else will say, man. That's where we're here now. In Connecticut, a judge ordered InfoWars.
a judge named George. No, I'm kidding, I don't know his name.
Hey, George.
Hey, Giorgio.
I will love him and pet him. A judge ordered InfoWars business associates and partners to testify and will soon rule on the deposition of Jones himself and other InfoWars associates as per the family's request. And just to give you an idea of what it takes to be good in radio, enunciation. So that was February 7th, 2000. Do we want to add anything to that?
No, I think, like I said, I pulled this directly from...
I'm excited to read the next paragraph.
firstamendment.org because they did such a great job writing it.
Yeah.
And I think they put it in a better words than I could. So we're moving on.
April 1st, Arpil 1st. That was not me.
I misspelled April.
But hey, we're fucking with each other, so...
Arpil?
April 1st, 2019, Alex says Sandy Hook coverage was a form of psychosis. I can't decide, and this is Jake, I can't decide if this is funny or just sad, and me too. At this point, probably safe to say sad. Alex begins his depositions on the Sandy Hook cases. He held a 3-hour taped deposition. Oh, God, a fly on the wall.
Man, I kind of... Again, there's another plug for Knowledge Fight, but... they do a great job.
So don't worry, we won't subject you
no.
it.
They do
but
a great
I remember
job.
this.
Listen to them.
This is also, if I'm not mistaken, this is also going off script a little bit. This is also when he was having his divorce.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, and he was using the psychosis thing with the Sandy Hook thing so that he could use it.
His divorce case was
as the
2
thing that he was an
years-
act.
His divorce case was 2 years before that. No.
Because I rember, I remember he had
Sandy
two
Hook
things.
had played a part in it because it was in the middle of it. But what the custody hearing, he didn't admit to psychosis, but he admit to like eating a zebra steak.
I thought he just said like that was all an
he
act.
had
That was his defense.
His lawyer tried to say that.
Right, but didn't his lawyer try to use that defense in another kind of thing?
No, he was just playing that on
a douche.
I think it could have worked for both. I think it was the same.
I get paid $750,000 an hour.
But his no, that is funny that you bring that up because his divorce case, I didn't think I was really going to touch on it that much in the next.
We
episode.
don't have to.
And it's pretty.
It's
simple.
a personal thing.
It was,
but it adds to the mystique.
Public,
right? It adds to
the problem.
It adds to the mystique because what have we been talking about the last 2 episodes about how much of a jerk he is, like socially and personally, and he's out here trying to say. Right.
He's verbally abusive. He doesn't turn it off. He's this angry,
right. He says,
person.
"Oh no, I just do that when I'm in the studio." Isn't the studio at your house?
Yeah. Well, and again, he's a alcoholic.
Asshole.
He has a problem, and he can't take responsibility. And that's all you need to know about that divorce case.
I'm an alcoholic.
The highlights that you're talking about were parts where he says, "I can't remember." He couldn't remember certain parts or certain things because he's like, "I don't know, man. I had a big bowl of chili the night before." Or he would say,
was it InfoWars chili?
Yeah, or he said he had a big zebra steak or some stupid shit like that. And then, of course, the defense of the whole thing of it's an act. It's all him playing a character.
Yeah.
And then he comes on the air then like another few days later and was like, I'm real. I'm not playing it. I'm not some actor. Like he was going crazy like that. So that happened in the middle of or right before all the Sandy Hook stuff. So he gets hit with the divorce, then he gets hit with Sandy Hook, and the hits just keep coming, and it all starts to catch up with him. Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't go on the air and be a total idiot and a jerk.
So we have a clip.
Yes, we do. This is him saying that all of his coverage of Sandy Hook
is bullshit,
is
Bucko.
the media's fault, and he was in a form of psychosis. So let's fire up that clip.
And I've, I myself have, almost had like a form of psychosis back in the past where I basically thought everything was staged, even though I've now learned a lot of times things aren't staged. So I think as a pundit and someone giving opinion,
There's admitting
that
he's
my
saying it's an
opinions have
opinion.
been wrong, but they were never wrong consciously to hurt people.
Well, what I'm getting at is this stuff we're looking at today. Kids going in circles, schools closed, emails, EMTs not in the building, porta potties. These aren't comedy skits. This is journalism.
Yes, well, this is punditry, because I wear a journalist hat, punditry hat, satire hat, just reading news, just being a news reader. I mean, I do that as well.
No, you don't.
So I do a lot of things.
You don't read. You read headlines.
But when I was covering Sandy Hook, I was genuinely trying to get at the truth of it.
Yeah. So that is part of the deposition. We'll play another clip here in a minute.
That is asshole getting caught and going, oh shit.
Yeah, and then
trying to say anything to save his sorry ass.
Yeah, and
this is classic Alex here.
Yeah.
He's deflecting any sort of blame to something else. He even goes so far as to blame the media for his reasoning to call it a cover-up. Mm-hmm. Then he acknowledges he went to YouTube in the basement of the internet 4chan for his fucking story. Yeah, you guys heard about that? We're going to do an episode on that shit.
We'll do a whole thing on episode.
Oh, shit.
But listen, that's what I'm saying. That's what's so frustrating about this. He admitted in court that he used one of the worst websites on the planet as a source because for his punditry, air quotes.
Yeah, punditry. That's not a word.
Unbelievable.
If somebody tried to use punditry in a game of Scrabble against me, I would slap the shit out of them.
Imagine that. Imagine going, say, like ABC News or something, any form of media, and they're going to come on TV and say, by the way, you're going to see under the thing sources, and it's going to say 4chan. Like, what?
And if you really do the research and look at the numbers, to be really, really brutally honest, sorry, MAGA guys, but generally news has more of a right-leaning slant than anything. More. Generally.
Well, I mean, look at their coverage of the 2020 election with Bernie and Biden and the clear favoritism
shit show
that the establishment has put out. And we were not getting into that.
Right?
Let's talk about Alex.
So Alex also goes on to deny any response, but I was saying, like,
No, I get
Alex also goes on to deny any responsibility for causing these families pain, and we have a clip for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a clip.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that the trauma of the media and the corporations lying so much, then everything begins. You don't trust anything anymore. Kind of like a child whose parents lie to them over and over again. Well, pretty soon they don't know what reality is. So long before these lawsuits, I said that in the past I thought everything was a conspiracy, and I would kind of get into that mass groupthink of the communities that were out there saying that. So now I see that it's more in the middle, and so that's where I stand.
Mr. Jones, are you finally prepared to admit that you have indeed caused these families a substantial amount of pain? Are you prepared to admit that?
I am not prepared to sign on to whatever you and the mainstream media make up about me.
What?
All right, Mr. Jones, that'll have to be it. I'll see you next time.
Mountains, records, proof. I don't know. My eyeballs can tell you.
I don't take any responsibility at all.
Are you kidding me, Alex? This is in 2019, so this has been 7 years of your silliness and like unbelievable bullshit that you spewed about this. And you're trying to say to me that those people that you influenced, and by the way, this is after Pizzagate, so he knows his audience is crazy enough to do something stupid.
Yeah, like go into a fucking restaurant
and shoot at people because you think Pizzagate was real.
Some dude, we did that last week. I did the whole,
Without him being a total narcissist and selfish, how can he not honestly say, "Oh yeah, I have hurt these people," because he totally has.
But he uses it to double down on the mainstream media.
Take away his audience. Take away all that stuff and say
he was working at a fucking Burger King. Dude.
He definitely caused them pain
and about to get fired
because he said the death of their kids didn't happen. and mocked their tragedy.
Like I said, he
So even take
literally
away all that other stuff,
he
just
literally
boil it down to
got
that.
he got his audience to go and like find out the information of these poor fucking parents, man, who are just trying to get through this tragedy.
Yeah.
And these fucking yahoos and just idiots, like, who should just be breeded out. I'm sorry, but just dumb fuckers, man. And they're literally just like calling these poor parents and going like, "Hey, fucker, how do you like lying to the American?" Like, literally, like that. And going to their house and like, "I'm gonna kill you if you don't stop with your lie," you know.
And nobody,
Horrifying.
nobody
And
ever,
because Alex told him to.
nobody should ever do that to someone or have that done to them.
Hell
I don't
no.
care how bad the person is.
I wouldn't want that done to Alex.
Exactly. Nobody should have.
Can I imagine it for a second? Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I don't want it to happen to
No,
Alex.
just like you
I
don't
really
want.
do. Sorry.
No, because
That would be fucking funny.
Somebody would definitely get shot, especially with Alex.
So, yeah,
And
he
that
would.
not be
Yeah, that's
good.
right. You know what? You're right. You're right. In real life, even though it's kind of funny to, pipe dreams or whatever. Like, that'd be fun. Okay.
So, yeah.
So after that, we get to May 2nd, 2019. Alex and the rest of InfoWars banned from Facebook. Facebook really starts cracking down on some controversial, well-known figures for violating policies and hate speech. The list includes Alex Jones, right-wing provocateur.
Oh, yeah, look at my.
Milo Yai, whatever.
This is again
Conspiracy,
from
yeah.
firstamendment.org. This
Yeah,
is-
right.
Part of this is directly from that website.
Oh, yeah. Conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer and Paul John Watson, Louis Farrakhan, who promotes anti-Semitic views, and Paul Nehlen, a white nationalist who ran for Congress in 2018 and almost won.
Yeah.
The ban includes their individual Facebook accounts, fan pages, and groups affiliated with them. These individuals are also banned from Instagram, the photo-sharing app owned by Facebook. It is worth noting that the online purge of Alex happened in August 2018.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of an indication of the people around Alex getting the ban hammer. That's our new band name.
Banhammer?
Ban hammer.
I got that from Twitch.
It'll be, we'll write a song about deodorant that really, yeah, you don't have to put it on. It just hammers into your armpit.
Yeah. So this is important, I think, to point out that, they've finally pushed back on that in the middle of all this stuff with Sandy Hook. And I think, the people are really just trying to scrub Alex from the internet. And I think some of it is okay. I think some of it is a little much. I just think it's silly to do it now. I think it's too little too late. The damage has already been done by Alex. He's not nearly as popular as he was, but the damage has already been done.
Yeah, but like all these fucking idiots, they're just doubling down.
But I don't want to silence someone's speech. I don't.
No.
But Alex still has InfoWars. He has his own YouTube thing, band.video.
Yeah.
So Alex is not completely off.
No,
the
he's still got shit, and I think there's.
He should have it. I think it's
is there
fine.
not like something we can just all agree that like what Nazis are just bad, and like every time that comes up, like the First Amendment is not part of that
Or you
conversation.
just listen to 5 minutes of any of Alex's very racist.
We should just agree on that. We literally
rhetoric.
fought a war and beat him. Anyway,
He's his
Idiots.
Islamist phobia, but yeah, that's worth
but
pointing
the Earth
out.
is flat too.
And it's
I can't
hollow.
believe. Can you believe we're having these conversations in fucking 2020?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
June 24th, 2019,
This is gonna
Alex
be a fun
hit
section,
with
too.
sanctions. Oh yeah, I read ahead while you were blabbing.
Again,
we
portions
don't
of this-
actually
By
listen.
the way,
Yeah.
real quick, I know
Yeah.
I've already said it multiple times. Go check out firstamendment.org's coverage of this because it's fantastic. Some of this is directly from their website.
I use it every day.
I'm not. They're not paying me for any of
Oh, I
this.
thought we were okay.
Oh no, you thought it was commercial?
I still use it every day. I'm not lying.
Um,
Yeah.
No, they're not paying me to do this. They've done a great thing. There's so much more to it than what I'm giving you. So go check that out.
No, but what I was saying is that we actually don't listen to what each other is saying. So like while he was just talking about whatever he was talking about, I was reading the next section, and it is fun.
Let's get into it. I hate you. I don't listen to my co-host. I just do whatever I
fucking
want.
whatever. There he goes. Let's see. Alex, June 24th, 2019, Alex hit with sanctions. Alex's lawyer takes a few of the victims' parents to the Connecticut Supreme Court. God.
Yeah.
He just won't let it go.
Nope.
To review some sanctions brought on Alex by the trial judge. These are sanctions that he can get around and get by living with them imposed on him, and these kids will never get their child back. So just, perspective. On June 18th, Bridgeport Superior Court Judge Barbara Bellis imposed the sanctions during an emergency hearing after Jones threatened the Sandy Hook family's attorney, Christopher Mattei, on Jones's show. Instead of doing what most of us would have been is, bailiff, does it say anywhere in the Connecticut State Charter that we can still use firing squads? Because bring one in. That rant was related to an email dump from Alex and InfoWars that seemed to reveal child pornography.
Oh, man. I cannot wait for this sequence here. This is going to get wild.
After a further FBI investigation, it showed that the images were attached from outside the company and the images were never opened. And we have a clip?
We have multiple clips.
God.
So we have 4 cuts.
And these are audio.
Yeah.
And none of them have...
4 cuts of Alex going on a rant about this child pornography. And it's great
That's
for
all he
Alex's audience because he always rails against pedophilia and hates everything. And I don't think he's a pedophile, but
No.
I just think it's funny that, of course, somebody would do this to Alex. So here's clip number 1.
$1 million.
$1 million.
1 million. I can't help it. I've always done what I shall do. I don't have a lot of money, but I'll sell my house. $1 million on conviction for who sent the child porn. $1 million. We're going to publish all the metadata. We're going to turn you loose, the ISPs, the law enforcement. You know who did it. $1 million. So now it's not 10,000 for arrest. It's 100,000 for arrest. It's 1 million for conviction.
I'm literally...
$1
million
slack.
So that's cut number 1.
That's 1. There's 4.
And now I don't know.
I might have to step out of the room for the next 3.
I don't know if these clips are completely related to this particular
It's
instance.
not a tumor. Sorry.
Because from what I could tell from the 4.5-minute clip that I could find online, he doesn't mention the lawyer by name. He could later on in this segment because Alex goes on like these 20-minute rant sections in his show sometimes. His monologue is just about stuff
And
like
we got
this.
time to fucking listen to that
Right,
shit.
so maybe there is a longer one, but that, even if he wasn't naming that lawyer, you could see why somebody would want to have a hearing about that and say, hey, whoa, are you trying to threaten this person you're in a legal
Yeah,
battle
did you just
with?
put a fucking bounty on somebody?
Oh, yeah, you were asking those questions. I didn't tell you this. You probably haven't figured it out yet. But I got a special surprise for you in the next couple clips.
You think when you call up, oh, we'll protect you. We found the child porn. I like women with big, giant tits and big asses. I don't like kids like you goddamn rapists, F-heads. In fact, like this, you fucks are going to get it, you fucking child molesters. I'll fucking get you in the end, you fucks. Now, we're done right there.
Did he say big fucking tits and big fucking asses?
Oh.
I think we need to hear that again.
I like women with big, giant tits and big asses. I don't like kids like you goddamn
Big,
rapists,
giant tits.
F-heads.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Can I just offer this to young men who may be listening? Literally, don't look at the size of breasts. It's really not as important as you think. Trust me.
For me, I disagree.
You know what? Hey,
Boob guy, man.
listen. I'm just
not
telling
talking
you.
about this.
You may be giving up on like a really excellent woman just because she doesn't have D cups.
Oh, I don't.
Just saying.
I date
Because this guy is
When I
like
was
he wants
dating, I
fake
cared
tit
about
chicks.
personality.
Alex Jones. He wants strippers with these big fake basketball looking titties that are just disgusting.
Yeah. So let's
Anyway.
get into clip number 3.
Can we? Fuck.
Remember, keep in mind, you've been asking questions like, how could he be saying this, right? This is crazy. He's in a legal battle. Why would he be talking about this stuff? Somebody's got to stop him, right?
Well, yeah.
$1 million, bitch. I'm going to get your ass. You understand me now? You're not going to ever defeat Texas, you sacks of shit. So you get ready for that. Now, I don't usually use French, but I'm pissed right now. Norm Pattis, you take over this segment the next. I apologize for my use of French here, but I'm really pissed right now.
His lawyer's
Yeah, I get that.
whole
This
time.
goddamn bullshit anymore.
So you should have talked to me about the reward structure.
No, I don't. It's
You started
1
telling Alex,
million.
you're
But listen to
tampering
me.
with
I'm your
a
lawyer,
witness,
and
a
it would
possible
behoove you
witness.
to listen from time to time. You don't ever want to create an interest in the outcome.
Yeah,
And
back it up
Replay
here.
it because I want to hear
Well,
the lawyer.
let's just. I'm sorry. I
No,
talked
no,
over the
you're
lawyer.
no, you're okay.
But listen to me. I'm your lawyer, and it would behoove you to listen from time to time. You don't ever want to create an interest in the outcome in a potential witness. No, I'm here.
I'm gonna. Why does the law enforcement say there's an out? Why does law enforcement say $5,000 dead or alive? 1 million, because we all know who did it.
So let's talk about what happened here.
You think I won't pay 1 million?
I didn't say that, but not lead to a suit.
That's why I said 1 million.
Keeps interrupting
can't-
his lawyer.
He can't get out of his own fucking way.
No, he can't because his lawyer
Jesus.
is repeatedly
The
saying
lawyer is like,
this is illegal.
you fucking idiot. He's trying to say in the most lawyerly way possible, shut the fuck up.
Let me talk.
Shut up.
Listen, to
Alex,
me.
shut your hole. That was a really lawyerly way of saying shut the fuck up.
Yeah, right. Like he's
It would behoove you to listen to me
that part made
from
me
time to
fucking-
time.
Man, that's great. And the whole, but the thing is, that makes you laugh about this because
it was-
I've seen this video. I know what's in it. You had no idea.
I can't imagine.
Until that clip that his lawyer was sitting next to him the whole time, like constantly putting his hand in
Is
his
his
head.
is his
Like, what are
lawyer
you
one of
doing?
those assholes with like a little rat tail, like just
He does
awful
have a
hair?
ponytail and a red-
What is up with that shit?
I don't think he's a bad
Celebrity
guy.
lawyers? No, I'm just celebrity lawyers always have like that. Like you have like a little rat tail or like what? Ugh,
All right,
anyway.
one last clip
Ugh,
from the Alex
I'm gonna
rant.
barf all over you.
Well, be the real American, and the real American attacks the right target.
I'm going to.
Let's find that target and
Oh
attack.
my God! I've
Oh,
talked
come
to
on
people.
now. You're
There's no way out of millions of emails that didn't even say child porn. They horned in on it. God Almighty!
You're assuming they horned in on it. We don't know what the end.
Then whoever
We don't
did
know
it
who's
told
doing
them to
this.
do
Shut
it.
up.
We're gonna get them. 1 million. $1 million is on the street against you. You didn't destroy America on time, bitch. I am pissed, man. I would give everything I have to stop living in this world with these people. Norm, let's be nice here. Let's go into the documents.
Let's go on the what?
Let's go into the documents. Listen to this. Listen to this part again because he sounds insane.
He is. Yeah.
We're gonna get him. 1 million. $1 million is on the street against you. You didn't destroy America on time, bitch.
What? What?
I am pissed, man. I would give everything I have.
I gotta be honest. When you say I'm gonna get you and then add bitch, you're not sounding tough to me. At
No,
all.
just throwing in bitch there doesn't.
At all. And he did it twice in another clip. He did it too. Like, I'm gonna come after you, bitch. And it was like, you sound like a misogynist going after an ex. You don't sound like a tough guy trying to get
And
somebody
now you can see why
who's defaming you.
he was accused of being verbally abusive.
'Cause he's an
Like this
ass.
sounds like he would talk how he would talk to someone, a partner in his life, and he seems so unhinged. Like one thing, and I feel bad for the lawyer in this clip because he's doing his best to be like, "Hey, if you're that upset, let's talk about the people that actually did it and figure that out, and maybe not do this stuff on the air for everybody to see." Like it's ridiculous, and again, he gets in his own way. He's he's not a good person. He threatens employees, and like it's crazy.
Man, at the end, that chair really came through. It was just like, "Rut."
So anyway, we're
Oh, are we talking?
yeah,
Are we-
you ripped a huge fart because I took a potty break, and Tyler decided to rip a huge fart in here.
Did I do that on air?
No, they couldn't hear it.
Okay.
I didn't start recording
Oh,
right away.
God.
So let's move
I'm
on
sorry.
with Alex.
I'm sorry. Should we? Is this window doesn't open, does it? So December.
We're stuck in a bunker, man.
Well,
be
you
dropping bombs
shouldn't
like
have got so many goddamn tins of beans. I know they were on sale at the Army Navy store. Fuck.
Non-perishable.
Sea rations from World War II, still good for another 2 years.
It's true.
December 30, because it's been a long time. December 31st, 2019. Judge orders Alex to pay the Sandy Hook families $100,000. Really? That's it?
That's a lot of money for
That's not.
He's not this like
Again,
this and
throw him
his
in jail,
divorce-
take all of his money, and give it all to the families.
Yeah.
Because, sorry, man. You fucked up.
I understand what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where the saga finally comes to a close. A Texas judge ordered Alex to pay over $100,000 in legal fees and refused to dismiss the defamation suits. So I didn't really read ahead this time. And what basically that means is that he had to pay their legal fees, but also he's still having to answer those defamation suits. And that's a separate thing. Like, he still has to go through them because the judge did not dismiss those
so
suits.
he's still, and it's gonna. This is
So not only does he still have to go through those trials, he also had to pay the legal fees up to that point
So that's why
of the family.
and that's why I was telling you that it's still. Well, you thought it was kind of not enough money. I was like, well, he's still got
That's
a
the tip
ton
of
of
the
other
iceberg,
case.
bro.
Yeah, he's got much more stuff to go through, and it is costing him a lot of money. I say the coronavirus stuff probably helped, but he hasn't been in a good situation because of this, and rightfully so. He deserved to get in trouble for this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be doing these things.
Yeah.
There has to be a line, and you have to understand that your words have consequences, and you can't just go out and say stupid shit without it obviously being a joke. And you can't, you can't say it's true. You can't make it an actual claim.
It's kind of you can't just go out there and just say shit and be disinformative. Like, you can't be doing that shit. And it's kind of like right now with the coronavirus. Like, a lot of people are talking like, if it's not that bad, I'm going to go outside. This is not a terrorist. Just watch what you say. Like, you could be influencing somebody who is high risk to go outside or to go into a public place. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have to understand that if you have some sort of influence over a number of people, that you got to watch what you say or have a disclaimer every time you come back from break. Disclaimer, this is just an opinion of Alex. That would have saved you how much money, Alex? Holy shit.
It's like, when you
just a disclaimer.
When you say like on when you say in a social media post or something, like in your Twitter bio or your Instagram, what opinions are my own. That's why they say, like, in like even DVD commentaries, they're like, any views expressed in this are not of this company. You know what I mean? It's that simple.
Yeah, they could be on there talking about flowers and puppies for 2 hours on that goddamn commentary. But they're still going to put that disclaimer. Why? Because there's a chance that in the middle of all those puppies and flowers, that once somebody says, fuck. So you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's a
that's a thing that everybody puts on.
It's a legal distancing to say, hey, he is an individual and you should treat him as such.
It actually opens the doors for people to be able to do commentaries.
And that's the thing about this
blanket. Hey, we're good.
This
Say
whole
whatever you
Sandy
want.
Hook thing.
Yep.
It is so integral to InfoWars' business model
to lie
that he is absolutely profiting off a tragedy. Now, I don't know if that should be illegal.
I do.
I think it should. The more I think about it, I think there has to be a certain line, and I do think, but I don't. It's a risky thing because I don't want to impede anybody's First Amendment.
Right, and that's where it gets to the slippery slope. And honestly, as a big proponent of the First Amendment, and it's.
I mean, we definitely would not have this show.
Some of its limitations and some of its too far-reaching things. There, what I'm talking about earlier, like, can we all agree that Nazis are okay? Yeah, that's fine. But then, what if somebody uses that argument that I use to like shut down Nazis like forever, to like censor a book that I like that has nothing to do with Nazis? That is a good. You get what I'm saying?
It's a slippery slope.
It is, and I hate that term, but it's true.
It really is.
You can't. That's why we live. Yeah, that's why you got to take everything as it goes.
Because
you can't just have a blanket.
I will absolutely defend the First Amendment hard because I think it is the most important right that we have in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think that we should start, and that's the trick of it all. And by the way, most of this stuff with Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff, they're private companies. So if they want to cut you out, they can.
Somebody could use my very well-reasoned argument.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you believe.
To tell me that I can't protest anymore.
Yeah. And
So that's where that comes
People are trying
from.
to say that YouTube is anti-free speech.
They're a private company. Shut up.
They're a private company.
Yeah.
And two,
So shut up.
They're pro-corporate. They're pro-corporatism.
You wouldn't believe how pro-corporate is. Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Do you know where YouTube makes its money? Not off of you dumbasses. They make money off of all of the fucking sponsorships.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know why? Because these corporations know, hey, everybody watches YouTube. So what are you going to do? You're going to give money to them to advertise so that people will see
any
your
restriction that comes on YouTube is absolutely because of advertisers.
Yes.
They cut down curse. They used to be this thing where you could post whatever you wanted and do whatever you want, and anybody could have access to be a partner and make money off YouTube. And a couple years ago, they changed that to you had to have, I can't remember the cap, but you have to have like 100,000 subscribers or something like that. Like, that's the only way you can get monetized and things like that, because they know to get bigger companies, they're going to need somebody with an actual audience, not a dude with like 20 subscribers. So a lot of people hated that. I totally understood that. So the cussing, advertisers don't want to be a part of that. Anything with guns. But there was a long time, I will say, where it got a little overboard, and this is one of my critiques of YouTube, and we could do a whole deep dive on YouTube. But at certain points during shootings and things, you couldn't have gun in your title or gun in your thumbnail or anything about guns. They're talking about you for a while. You couldn't talk about coronavirus at all on YouTube, or you'd get demonetized. So but those restrictions are there because of advertisers. Because if they see coronavirus in your title, they might think you're an Alex Jones conspiracy theorist, and they don't want to give you money for that. Or they're like, oh, we don't want to seem like we're profiting off this. So they're not anti-free speech. They're pro-corporatism. That's what they are.
Which is almost as...
YouTube doesn't get out of this unscathed. I think they're a bad company.
No, pro-corporatism is almost as bad as... They're very similar.
Well, I take that
censorship.
back. I don't think they're a bad company. I think they are a very flawed company. And I think the sad thing is with business... these things are flawed, and you have to figure out where your line is. And at a certain point, you got to say, Alex cannot make money off of us anymore.
Right. Well, and again, pro-corporatism. You're making a choice to go to YouTube to view videos there. And honestly, that gives them the right as a private company to dictate what is said on their platform. And sorry, we may not like it, but that's their right.
I've had debates,
and that goes exactly along with First Amendment.
Right. And I've had debates about the idea that I feel like YouTube has a monopoly. I don't like it, but
I
know there's Vimeo or Vimeo.
Venmo.
No, Venmo's the Cash App.
Oh.
It's VIMEE or VIMEO. Vimeo, I think. Yeah. There's Daily Motion. There's other places that you can watch this stuff, but everybody knows the easiest thing to get is YouTube because I have a Google phone, and YouTube's right there.
They probably have an entire city of servers.
Yeah, exactly.
No shit. I'm not kidding. They probably have, like, in Oklahoma, central Oklahoma, just this gigantic city.
I think there does need to be an alternative.
All temperature controlled.
To YouTube. So I understand.
And 4 IT guys for the whole goddamn city.
Yeah.
Did you turn it on and off?
Did you ever think about turning it on and off?
Is it on?
So, yeah.
That's the first thing.
As we wrap up, I do think that's important because we would definitely get more into First Amendment and YouTube and the banning of Alex Jones in the final episode, but I'm glad we took time to talk about Sandy Hook at length because this is a serious thing that we should be thinking about with certain people. And like I said, it is really complicated because I think we should value the First Amendment, and that is one of the best things that we can have in this country is the ability to say whatever we want.
Right, and this should have been somebody in a position of power to say you can't do that. Should have before this. Should have told him, hey, yeah, you can say whatever you want because of the First Amendment, but honestly, morally, you're a dick if you go after kids because you're going after kids.
Yeah.
Sorry. And
Well,
and then it doesn't really hold water when you go like talk about pedophiles and how I'm going to get you fuckers. Like,
Yeah.
well, wait. So you're protecting one kids but not other?
Yeah.
Like you're still going after kids, dude. Sorry.
His Paul Joseph
Asshole.
Watson. I always say that wrong. He has a Twitter handle Prison Planet. I think he's the editor in chief at InfoWars. And he said in emails that they dug up for this all the suits.
Prison Planet is a great song by Clutch. Anyway,
prisonplanet.com.
ruin it.
He said in an email to Alex, we should stop. This stuff is killing us. Like, it's not good.
Yeah.
And just a business standpoint, it's not good. Because,
Yeah.
honestly...
You're going to lose all your money, dude.
Well, that's why he does what he does with supplements and all this stuff that he sells himself, because it's hard to get advertisers that are going to be like, yeah, this guy said a terrible tragedy to children happened, and he said it didn't happen. It's all lies. Like, nobody's going to want to advertise for that guy. You know?
Right?
You know? But yeah, I didn't think it would have done enough justice to split this up with the deplatforming episode, because that is a whole other thing, and yeah, it's wild.
Well, you can't. Sorry, man. There needs to be some sort of to make the First Amendment fully work for the good of society. It has to be the way that it's written, and it has to be followed like that. However, that doesn't, just because it's a law should not stop us from being morally obligated to say you shouldn't be able to say that.
Well, that's why it's good that we have libel laws and defamation and things like that, because you're absolutely right.
But
People should
I
not
think
be able
more
to make those
you have to
baseless
take
bullshit
both
claims. Yeah, they should be able to say it, but then they should be able to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
If they're wrong.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like, hey, you know what? That's fine, but you're gonna face consequences.
Yeah, I think that's the moral.
But then you're getting on the slippery slope and da da da.
This is a rare case where
Crazy.
the good guy wins, though. I think.
Yes.
It's great that those parents got some money, and the fact that he's still going to have to continually pay these families by still going through these lawsuits
in perpetuity.
He deserves it, man. Like you're right. There has to be a line, and you have to understand that you should not be profiting off of the lies built on the deaths of children.
Yeah, Israel. Oh.
Jesus, you're going to get us taken off the air. So that was episode 10, part 3 of the Alex Jones saga.
It was an inside joke for all of you.
Next week, we will be we'll be wrapping up Alex
You're going to have
Jones.
to edit so much of this. He's so pissed.
Next week, we'll be wrapping up the end of the saga.
I should have said, yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. Damn it.
A kid could be a kid.
That would have been so less offensive. Shit. Well,
Stop talking. I'm leaving this in because I want people
which
to
you
hear
should.
how psychotic you sound. Anyway, be ready because episode 11, part 4, we're going to be talking about his deplatforming and his current situation and the end of the coverage for this. And then after that, I don't know. We're kind of wide open. I have some ideas, but I'd like to hear some, because Tyler has actually been pitching me some funny ideas for the show. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see. And you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple.
Exclusively on now.
Well, I wish we could get paid for
Just to say, if you're a platform dude out there and you're listening to this and you're like, I want them to be exclusive to my platform, we're totally in. Let's negotiate.
that. We're corporate sellouts. Easily. We never said we weren't pro-corporate.
I want my name on and my face on a fucking cereal box. Sorry.
What, tinfoilos? Ooh.
Tinfoilos.
Oh!
We'll both have tinfoil hats. Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about this. We'll get it fleshed out. And
But here's the quick question. Before we finally...
Are they going to be made of tinfoil? What?
Well, no. Are the tinfoil hats going to be crunchy or marshmallows? Are we going to have marshmallows at all?
Can you make shiny marshmallows?
We'll figure this out next week.
Holy shit, we got some research to do.
Thanks so much for listening to part 3 of the Alex Jones saga.
Woo!
And remember, if you've heard this episode,
we're already dead.
You got it!
What is my problem?